Welcome to my channel about narcissistic abuse and healing. Today I am revealing powerful tactics that will help you set boundaries with narcissists. Ready to take control? Let's dive in. When communicating with a narcissist, it is crucial to be mindful of your words and tone, especially when setting limits. Narcissists are skilled at manipulating and provoking reactions, so thoughtful and measured approach is essential. Here is a more detailed guide expanded with relevant examples to help you navigate these challenging interactions. State deadlines, benchmarks, and consequences clearly. When setting boundaries with an energy vampire, it is important to clearly state deadlines, benchmarks, and consequences without adding personal opinions or emotions. For instance, instead of saying, "You always ignore my messages," which is really disrespectful, you should say, I need you to respond to my messages within 24 hours. If you do not, I will stop contacting you. Avoid adjectives and adverbs. Avoid using adjectives and adverbs, which can make your statement sound emotional or judgmental. Words like always, never, good, and bad should be avoided, as they can escalate the situation and give the narcissist more ammunition to use against you. Instead, stick to the facts. For example, rather than saying, "You never respect my time," you could say, "I have noticed you have been late to our last 3 meetings." Eliminate emotional language. Emotional language and dramatic expressions should also be avoided. Do not use exclamation points, as they can make your communication seem overly emotional. Instead of saying, "Stop ignoring me," you could say, "Please ensure that you acknowledge my messages promptly. Thank you." This keeps the conversation calm and professional. Avoid sarcasm and rhetorical questions. Sarcasm, put-downs, and rhetorical questions are also counterproductive. These styles of communication reveal your inner state and can make you look bad to others, possibly making you appear unreasonable or overly emotional. For example, if you label a particular behavior as outrageous, you signal to the narcissist that the behavior outrages you, giving them information and thus more power. Instead, a neutral description is more effective. Rather than saying your behavior is outrageous, you could say, I found your actions at the meeting inappropriate and disruptive. State boundaries without explanation. When setting boundaries, it is crucial not to explain or justify yourself. Narcissists often use justification as a way to argue and manipulate. Simply, concisely, and politely state the facts, what isn't acceptable to you, and that consequences will follow from unacceptable behavior. For instance, if you need to set a boundary about personal space, you might say, "Please do not enter my office without knocking. If you do, I will have to lock the door." Maintain politeness and composure. Politeness goes a long way in maintaining your composure and authority. Always use polite courtesies like please and thank you, even when you don't feel like it. Treat your communications with the narcissist as business, not personal. Instead of saying, I am sick and tired of your stupid crap, stop calling and do not bother me anymore. Say, please do not contact me or come to my home or work. Thank you. This business-like approach is more effective and won't leave a paper trail that makes you look bad or provoke more attacks. Use strategic compliments when necessary. Sometimes it is strategically wise to add words that help the abuser feel like they have won. Avoid letting your ego drive you to the need to triumph. For example, saying, please do not contact me or come to my home or work. You deserve more than I can give you. I wish you the best in all things. Thank you. Can satisfy the need to feel superior. This tactic uses their own methods against them and make them feel like they are getting what they want. For instance, if an energy vampire at work is trying to encroach on your responsibilities, you might say, I think you are capable of handling this project on your own. I'll be focusing on other tasks. Best of luck. In a nutshell, when dealing with a narcissist, the key is to maintain calm, clear and professional conversation. By stating your boundaries without emotion and sticking to the facts, you maintain control of the situation and reduce the chances of escalation. Using polite courtesies and sometimes allowing the abuser to feel like they have won can also be effective strategy. This approach helps you set and maintain boundaries effectively while minimizing conflict. Thank you for watching.